Okay, so I'm just going to run through the homework, which was question 11 to 16. So the first one here, I have 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus 8x plus 3 divided by 2x plus 1. So I need to take my first term and my first term here and divide them by one another. So 4x cubed divided by 2x will leave me with 2x squared. Okay, now I multiply this back out. So I have 2x squared times 2x will give me 4x cubed. 1 times 2x squared will give me plus 2x squared. Now I need to change the signs across. So this becomes minus, minus, these cancel. 6x squared take away 2x squared will leave me with 4x squared, and I can bring down one term, so plus 8x. 4x squared divided by 2x squared, or 2x, will leave me with 2x. 2x times 2x will give me 4x squared. 1 times 2x will give me plus 2x. Now I need to change my signs across. Minus, minus, these cancel. 8x take away 2x will give me 6x, and I bring down one term, plus 3. 6x divided by 2x will give me plus 3. 3 times 2x will give me 6x. 3 times 1 will give me plus 3. Change the signs across. Minus, minus, these cancel, I'm left with 0. So my answer is 2x squared plus 2x plus 3 for question 11. Question 12 then is, okay, so I have 14x cubed divided by 2x will leave me with 7x squared. 7x squared times 2x will give me 14x cubed. 7x squared times 5 will give me plus 35x squared. Now I need to change my signs across. So this will become minus, minus. Then I have 14x cubed. Take away that, that's gone. 43x squared minus 35x squared will give me 8x squared. I bring down one term. 8x squared divided by 2x will leave me with plus 4x. 4x times 2x will give me 8x squared. 5 times 4 will give me plus 20x. And now I need to change the signs across. Minus, minus, this is gone. 16x take away 20x will leave me with minus 4x. I bring down one term. Minus 4x divided by 2x will leave me with minus 2. Minus 2 times 2x will give me minus 4x. Minus 2 times 5 will give me minus 10. And I change the signs across. This becomes plus, plus, these all cancel. I'm left with 0. That's question 12. Question 13 then. Okay, so question 13 here I have 35x cubed divided by 7x, and I'm left with 5x squared. 5x squared times 7x will give me 35x cubed. Minus 6 times 5x squared will give me minus 30x squared. Now I need to change my signs across. This becomes minus, this becomes plus. These cancel. Then I have minus 51 plus 30. That gives me minus 21x squared, and I can bring down one term, plus 74x. Minus 21x squared divided by 7x will give me minus 3x. Minus 3x times 7x will give me minus 21x squared. Minus by minus will give me plus. 6 times 3 is 18x. And I need to change my signs across again. So I have plus, minus, these cancel. 74 take away 18 will give me 56x, and I bring down one term. And I go again, so I have 56x divided by 7x, and I'll be left with 7. or 8, sorry, plus 8. 8 times 56x will get, or 8 times 7x will give me 56x. 8 times minus 6 will give me minus 48. Now I need to change my signs across. This becomes minus, this becomes plus. They're gone. My answer is 5x squared minus 3x plus 8. Okay, here I have question 14. So I have 9x cubed minus 19x plus 6 divided by my 3x minus 1. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to rewrite this, okay, because I don't want to make any mistakes. So I'll have 9x cubed. I'm going to fill it in, so I don't have an x squared. So I'm going to fill in 0x squared minus 19x plus 6, because I don't want anyone to make the mistake of adding an x with an x squared. And here I have 3x minus 1. So first thing, I have 9x cubed divided by 3x will leave me with 3x squared. 3x squared times 3x will give me 9x cubed. Minus 1 times 3x will give me minus 3x squared. I need to change the sides across. Minus plus, these cancel. 0x squared plus 3x squared will just give me 3x squared, and I can bring down one term, minus 19x. 3x squared divided by 3x will leave me with plus x. X times 3x will give me 3x squared. Minus 1 times x will give me minus x. I need to change the signs across. Minus plus, these cancel. Then I have minus 19x plus x will give me minus 18x. Bring down one term, plus my 6. Then I have my minus 18x divided by 3x will leave me with minus 6. Minus 6 times 3x will give me minus 18x. Minus 1 times minus 6 will give me plus 6. I change my signs across. This will become plus, this will become minus, and then I'm left with 0. So my final answer is 3x squared plus x minus 6. Question 15 then is I have divide 8x cubed minus 1 by 2x minus 1. So I'm going to write this down. So I'll have my 8x cubed plus my 0x squared plus my 0x minus 1. Okay, and I'm dividing that by 2x minus 1. 8x cubed divided by 2x will give me 4x squared. 4x squared times 2x will give me 8x cubed. Minus 1 times 4x squared will give me minus 4x squared. I change the signs across. Minus plus, this cancels. 0x squared plus 4x squared, I'm left with 4x squared, and I bring down one term, which is 0x. 4x squared divided by 2x will leave me with plus 2x. 2x times 2x will give me 4x squared. 2x times minus 1 will give me minus 2x. And I need to change my signs across. This becomes minus, this becomes plus. These cancel, and I'm left with 2x, and I can bring down one term. 2x divided by 2x will give me plus 1. 1 times 2x will give me 2x. 1 times minus 1 will give me minus 1. And I'm going to change the signs across. Minus, plus, these cancel, and I'm left with 0. Okay, so the first part of this question was to expand x plus 2 and x minus 7. Okay, so I have two brackets. Expands means to multiply them out. So I take my first term, which is x, and multiply it by everything in my second bracket, x minus 7. I take my second term, which is plus 2, and I multiply it by everything in my second bracket, which is x minus 7. X times x gives me x squared. X times minus 7 gives me minus 7x. 2 times x gives me plus 2x. 2 times minus 7 gives me minus 14. Then I need to tidy it up. So I have x squared minus 7x plus 2x gives me minus 5x minus 14. So that's part A. Part B then says expand 2x minus 1 bracket x squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay, so I take my first term, which is 2x, times everything in my second bracket. My second term, which is minus 1, times everything in my second bracket. Okay, so I have 2x times x squared will give me 2x cubed. 2x times minus 5x will give me minus 10x squared. 2 times minus 14 will give me minus 28x. Minus 1 times x squared will give me minus x squared. Minus by minus gives me plus 5x. Minus by minus will give me plus 14. Okay, then I have my 2x cubed minus 10x squared. To take away x squared is minus 11x squared. Minus 28x plus 5x will give me minus 23x and plus my 14. Okay, so that's my answer there for part B. Then it says simplify without using long division. Part C, so I'm going to write this out. Okay, so this is what I have to simplify without using long division. Basically up here, this is my answer here, and the original one here was this here. So I'm actually going to rewrite this here. So I'll have my 2x minus 1 bracket x squared minus 5x minus 14 all over my x minus 7. Okay, so I haven't changed the sum, I'm just rewriting it again. I'm going to see here I have a quadratic, so I want to factorize my quadratic, and hopefully one of my factors will be x minus 7 so that I can get rid of it. So I'll have 2x minus 1, right, I'm factorizing this here, so I have to get my guide number, which is 1 times 14, which gives me 14. I then need to write out the factors of 14 that are going to add to give me 5. So I have 1 times 14, 2 times 7. Okay, right, 2 and 7 are going to make 5 for me. So I'm going to write my 2x, my 7x. I want a minus 5x, so this is going to be minus, this is going to be plus. Okay, then rewriting it, I have, so rewriting this, I have x squared plus 2x minus 7x minus 14. Okay, so now I have my grouping. So I take out my x and I'm left with x plus 2. I take out my 7, I'm left with x, and these need to be the exact same, so plus 2. This sign here needs to be a minus. Bringing them together, I have x minus 7, x plus 2. Okay, so now what I've basically done is I factorized this out here. So this can be written as 2x minus 1, bracket x minus 7, bracket x plus 2. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so the original sum can also be written like this. Now I see here x minus 7 will cancel with this here. So I'm left with 2x minus 1, bracket x plus 2. Okay, and I'm going to simplify it down further. I'm going to multiply back out my brackets. So it's first term, which is 2x, times everything in my second bracket. My second term is minus 1, times everything in my second bracket. 2x times x will give me 2x squared. 2x times 2 will give me plus 4x. Minus 1 times x is minus x. Minus 1 times 2 is minus 2. So fully then I have 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 as my final answer. Then part D asks me to divide it, so using long division. So this is the answer we would hope to get on top. So I'm going to do part D now. Okay, right, so 2x cubed divided by 2x will leave me with x squared. x squared times 2x will give me 2x cubed, minus 1 times x squared gives me minus 1x squared. This change the signs across, so we have minus, plus. These cancel. Minus 11x plus 1x will leave me with minus 10x squared. Bring down my minus 23x. Minus 10x squared divided by 2x will leave me with minus 5x. Minus 5x times 2x will give me minus 10x. Minus by minus will give me plus 5x. Now I need to change my signs across. This becomes plus, this becomes minus. So I'm left then with minus 28x plus 14. Then I have minus 28x divided by 2x will give me minus 14. Minus 14 times 2x will give me minus 28x. Minus by minus will give me plus 14. I change my signs across. This becomes plus, this becomes minus. They all cancel. And my final answer here is x squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay, so now I'm going to start looking at the manipulation of formulae. Right, this is an example. It's example 9.9. And it's on page 131 of your book. Okay, so I'm asked this question here. It asks me to make or the subject of the formula. Okay, so what I always do is I write or out here and I put a little circle around it. Okay, that's what I want to get on its own. So it's really important you know your rules of algebra so that you can actually get or on its own. So I have the sum is P plus RS is equal to Q. Right, I need to isolate or. So I'm going to leave or on its left hand side for the moment. Okay, so I have RS here is equal to Q. This here is a plus P. When I bring it over, it becomes minus P. I still don't have or on its own. So what's happening here? Or is multiplying by S. So to get rid of the S, I need to divide across by S. So I have or is equal to Q minus P divided by S here. And we can say RS is being divided by S. What's really happening is these are cancelling. And now I have or on its own is equal to Q minus P all over S. And that's the final one there. Okay. So then I have another example here. So it says express C in terms of A and B if A over 5 is equal to B minus 2C over 3. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a common denominator. So my common denominator between these two is 15. Okay, so 5 goes into 15 3 times my numerator, which is A, is equal to 3 goes into 15 5 times my numerator, which is B minus 2C. Okay, I can now drop my common denominator because I'm after making it an equivalent fraction. Okay, so because there's the equal sign in there, we're after making an equivalent fraction. So I now have 3 bracket A is equal to 5 bracket B minus 2C. Okay, so I have 3A is equal to 5 times B is 5B. 5 times minus 2C is minus 10C. Okay, right, so this is what we have now. I am trying, so express C in terms of A and B. So I want to get C on its own. Okay, right, so what I have here is I'm going to bring my C over to the left hand side. Because it's minus 10C here, when it comes over it's going to be 10C is equal to 5B here. I'm going to bring over my 3A and it's going to become minus 3A. This 10 is multiplying by the C, so to get rid of it I need to divide across by 10, divide across by 10. 10 divided by 10 will cancel, so my final answer then is C is equal to 5B minus 3A all over 10. Okay, so here I have another example. It says make Q the subject of the following formula. So this is my formula. I want to make Q the subject, so I'm just going to write Q out here and a little circle around it. Okay, so Q is what I want to isolate on its own. Right, here I have a Q, so I'm going to leave it here. So 3PQ. Okay, there's also a Q over here, so I'm going to bring that over because I need to get Q on its own. So minus 2QR is equal to 5RS. Okay, I need to get Q on its own, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my highest common factor here, which is going to be Q. When I take out Q, so 3PQ divided by Q, I'll be left with 3P. Minus 2QR divided by Q, I'll be left with minus 2R. That's equal to 5RS. Okay, Q is now being multiplied here. So if I want to get rid of my 3P minus R, I need to divide across. Okay, so I'm going to divide across by 3P minus 2R, divide across by 3P minus 2R. These now cancel, and I'm left with Q is equal to 5RS divided by 3P minus 2R. So as long as you know your rules of algebra, what needs to be multiplied, what needs to be divided, you'll have no problem completing these sums. Okay, I'm going to do another example now. Okay, so here I have given that A is equal to BC squared, write C in terms of A and B. So I need to get C on its own. So I have A is equal to BC squared. Okay, right, this BC, okay, so this B is being multiplied by C, so I now have C squared is equal to, because it's being multiplied, I'm going to divide across by B, divide across by B, these cancel, so it's equal to A over B. Okay, I still don't have C on its own, I have C squared, so to get the opposite of squaring a number is to get the square root of it, so I'm going to do the square root across, so I'll have the square root of C squared is equal to the square root of A over B. Okay, so the square root of C to be squared is just going to give me C is equal to the square root of A over B. Okay, so guys, you'd know to get back to C squared, you'd have to square both sides. Okay, so we're just using our rules here. Okay, so the next one I have is P is equal to Q or cubed. Write or in terms of P and Q. So I want or on its own. So put a little circle like that. So P is equal to Q or cubed. Okay, right. Q is being multiplied by the R cubed, so I'm going to divide across by Q, divide across by Q. These cancel, so I have now P over Q is equal to R cubed. Okay, so similar to before, I had C squared and I got the square root. Okay, so now I'm going to get the cubed root of P over Q, and there's a little 3 here, and that's equal to R. One last example, so I have, okay, so I have given that square root of U squared plus 2AS is equal to V. Write A, so I want A on its own in terms of U, V and S. Okay, so I have here U squared plus 2AS is equal to V. Okay, the first thing I need to get rid of, my square root sign. Okay, so to get rid of that, I need to square both sides. So when I square that, I'm going to be left with U squared plus 2AS is equal to V to be squared. I want to get A on its own, so I'm going to leave the 2AS here is equal to my V squared. I'm going to bring over my U squared. That's going to become minus U squared. Sorry. Then what I have is I still want to get A on its own, so I'm going to divide across by 2S. So divide across by 2S, divide across by 2S. Okay, the 2S, they'll cancel, and I'm going to be left with A is equal to V squared minus U squared all over 2S is my final answer there.